Welcome into 5 Wide Fantasy. Today's video, must start players in the wildcard round. If you guys are playing daily fantasy, if you're playing maybe even, I don't know, a playoff long fantasy league, this is a great place and a great video to check out for some of my favorite players to be starting in DFS lineups this week. If you guys do enjoy the channel, if you appreciate the channel, if you're watching our videos all season, best way to support us is by signing up at OwnersBox, signing up onto the fantasy platform. That link is down below in the description. You're going to get a 100% deposit match up to $500, and as well 2 free entries, one into Lightning lineups and one into our daily fantasy games. So what I'm going to do today, a little bit different, because in this time of the year in the playoffs, I think Lightning lineups, if you guys haven't had the chance to check it out, is our best product to play on the platform. So how Lightning lineups works, we'll get it up on the screen for you, is 3 lineups of 3 players each, and you pick the one that you think is going to score the most fantasy points. If you guys want to increase your payout, because in a 3 lineup entry on Lightning lineups, the payout is 2.25x. You can boost it all the way up for the Saturday only slate. You can get it up to a 3x payout with 4 lineups. So what I'm going to do is break down each of these 2 slates. We'll start with a Saturday. We'll get an entry in for Saturday, and then we'll get an entry in for Sunday. Let's start on Saturday. 2 games. We've got Seahawks, 49ers, and we've got Chargers, Jaguars. What I want to do is identify the couple of players that I'm targeting for this slate, and then I start going through the lineups. So starting with 49ers, Seahawks. I see the Seahawks in a matchup here where they're going to very much struggle to run the ball. The 49ers have the league's best run defense. So Kenneth Walker is not someone I'm looking to, but I'd be happy to have, a Tyler Lockett, a DK Metcalf, and a Geno Smith in my lineup in this matchup, because it's one where the Seahawks are significant underdogs, almost 10-point underdogs at our partners over at Betfred. So expect this team to be throwing the ball and expect these pass catchers to be involved. So that's the things from the Seahawks side. On the Niners side, I expect the run game to be a focal point. The Seahawks are terrible against tight ends, and they're terrible against running backs. Both of those positions, I think they're bottom 2 against tight ends, and they're probably bottom 3, bottom 4 against running backs. So those are the major targets there. I'm not looking as much at wide receiver, especially with the addition of Deebo Samuel. It kind of muddies the water between him, Ayuk, and Juwan Jennings, basically. Deebo could be involved as a runner as well, so that could be something to look at, but that's generally how I see things. Jaguars, Chargers side of things. I'm certainly targeting Travis Etienne. He's one of my favorite targets this week in DFS. He's going to be in line for a really solid performance. We saw his receiving upside show last week against the Titans. The Titans are a team that typically give up a lot of receptions to running backs, but was a good sign there for Etienne. His rushing prop listed, I think, at 77.5, definitely hitting that over. So I expect a good big week from Etienne. On the Chargers side, they've been struggling to run the ball. The Jags are a good run defense. I think they're a good unit between Devin Lloyd, Josh Allen, and Trayvon Walker. So I'm looking more to the Chargers pass catchers and Justin Herbert. Herbert will probably see, I would guess, 40 to 50 pass attempts in this game, no problem. So that is how I see this slate. Let's get into the matchups here and the lineups coming up to us here and what I like to look at. So as we get in early, again, Travis Etienne, Christian McCaffrey, because I do expect the Niners running backs to be big here. Those are the guys I'm looking at. Nothing here that sticks out too much. I think there's things to like in all of these lineups, so I'm gonna spin and move to the next one here, and let's find the one we like. See if we can find it relatively quickly. Honestly, this one's, again, pretty spread out. Like the big guys for me are Etienne, McCaffrey, and Kittle. Like those are the 3 big targets for me. So I'm going to be looking to get those guys. This lineup is my favorite of the 3, but I think I can find something I like a little bit more. Again, Etienne, Elijah Mitchell. I do think Mitchell is going to be involved. We saw before he got hurt that Mitchell would get a lot of the inside the 20 touches. Now, I don't know if that's more just McCaffrey wasn't completely built into the offense yet, but I do think it's an interesting note for sure. I do think this would be a good play going with these 2. It's just I think there still is a question mark about how involved Mitchell will be in these playoff games, so I'm going to keep going. McCaffrey, Zay Jones. You know what? I think this could be a good play. I mentioned that I'm a little bit down on the receivers, but I do think Deebo will be involved as a runner, and getting Engram as what looks to be Lawrence's favorite target right now, that is solid. But this is a good lineup as well. Going against McCaffrey's tough. I'm going to keep spinning. Herbert, McLeod, and Ingram. Nothing much here. I don't want to go both Jags running backs. I feel like I'm basically taking one player there, or two players instead of three if I do that. Okay, here's one. Yeah, this is what I'd go with. I like grabbing Herbert because I think he's going to have a really high passing volume. I like ETN because I think the Jags will run the ball well. And then I don't get burned too much here because I got Purdy and Ayuk on the other side, who I'm not very high on this week because I think that the Niners will be on the ground a lot. I, of course, have Keenan Allen, who will be a big target for Justin Herbert. That does kind of take away from, if Herbert's scoring touchdowns, if Keenan Allen's catching them, it does take it away. I do like Lockett and Ingram, but I'm very high on both Herbert and ETN. Let's see if I add in a lineup if I'm willing to go with it. Yeah, I'd go against that lineup as well. I like this one more. So I'll go this one for a $10 entry for the Saturday slate. Boom, we're in. All right. Okay, let's move to Sunday. Again, you can navigate here at the top and move it to the Sunday slate. Sunday slate. What we're looking at here is, let's start Bills-Dolphins. The Dolphins, of course, playing with Skylar Thompson at quarterback. Doesn't mean that Waddle and Tyreek are complete stayaways. Like, they're going to have to get the ball in these guys' hands and be creative in doing that and let them work after the catch. But I do think Jeff Wilson is a big target for you with Raheem Mostert. And his injury, he had a thumb injury, a broken thumb, I believe, and his status is up in the air. He didn't practice on Wednesday. Bills side of things, it is tough to run the ball in the Dolphins, but they're 13-point favorites. Like, they're probably going to end up doing that here with potentially a big lead. Nyheim Hines is also someone to consider because you do get points for return yards. So that's always something to pay attention to if Hines it looks like he has that job locked in after last week. Next game would be Giants-Vikings. I think this one's very easy to pick apart as well. Of course, Jefferson is a big play, but the Giants are terrible against the run. I think Cook is a good option. And then on the Vikings side, or on the Giants side, I think the Vikings are a great run defense, but really struggle against the pass. So I'm targeting guys like Daniel Bellinger, Darius Slayton. Those are two big ones to look for, even Daniel Jones. And then the last game for Bengals-Ravens. I think the Bengals are a team that, they don't run the ball very efficiently, and the Ravens are a very good run defense. Despite the fact they're 8.5-point favorites, I do think Burrow in the pass game is going to be very much the focal point of how they find any success. So on the Bengals side, that's what I'd be looking for. And on the Ravens side, I think the pass game will be very, very seldomly used, even if they're trailing, because Tyler Huntley has not been good in replacing Lamar Jackson this season. So the running game is more what you want to look to in J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. So let's take a look here. I know we have a few guys that aren't in the pool right now, just because their status is like of Dobbins missing last week. They'll be in the pool maybe by the time you watch this video, but this is just what we're working with right now. So again, targeting Bengals wide receivers. I wouldn't, if I can get Jeff Wilson in here, he's definitely someone as well that we can go to. And then obviously the Bills wide receivers aren't bad plays either. But I think the big target for me, honestly, is the Giants and their pass is Daniel Jones and pass catchers and Dalvin Cook. Those are probably the ones I'm really looking to get. Nothing too much here. Mixon's not one a big one for me. No, nothing in this lineup. Daniel Jones, Nyheim Hines, Darius Slayton. There you go. That is sneaky. That is really sneaky. Yeah, that was quick. That was really quick. I didn't think I'd find this really quick. I love this lineup because you go against secondary options here, right? In all these guys, like Cook is really like the RB2, like he's an RB1B for the Bills. Davis is, the second option for the Bills as well at the wide receiver spot. And we're looking at a team that's a 13-point favorite. How much is Davis going to be needed in this matchup if they're up big early and kind of burning things out late? And then Hawkinson, I think the Giants' pass defense is serviceable, and they're more can be had against the run. And then in the last lineup, Isaiah Likely, I think Andrews is definitely going to play, so Likely's role definitely diminishes. I think we can take advantage of that. Boyd had a good week last week against the Ravens for sure. Definitely like him. Can't take that away from him. And Tyreek Hill, down week last week. I feel like without the good quarterback play, he's been tougher to get for them to get involved, and Waddle's kind of been a little bit more involved with Thompson at QB. So I love this lineup here. Let's see if we add a fourth if I still like it. Higgins, Isaiah Hodgins is like a P. Ryan. I think I would go with this too. So let's just go 4 lineups again. So we'll put a $10 entry in for this one as well. Again, if you guys are looking to play for free, you get a $10 free entry with promo code Lightning10. So be sure to use that. And I just missed out because the time ran out. I just missed out. Okay, well, we're going to have to keep spinning that. I just missed out. Okay, I still like this lineup with Cook and Jones, like I mentioned. Drake, Singletary, Burrow. Yeah, I'll still go with this one. Let's just go with this one here. I still like this lineup. Don't want to go against these guys, though. This is actually a pretty decent opponent lineup. So let's go. Even though I don't think Justice Hill will have any involvement, I still like Jones and Cook enough. So we'll submit that one. Okay, we're all set for the wild card weekend. Again, get on the platform, sign up. The link is down below in the description. These are some of my favorite players to start this week. Be sure to be targeting them both on OwnersBox as well. Some player props are certainly available as well. That'll be coming up in our next video on Friday evening. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one.